Welcome to Conscious TV with Tom and Ramon. Tonight we have a pretty special guest, but before that, let me go over a couple of little business things here. January 5th, Ramon and I are going to be doing a live show on BBS, and we will welcome your call-ins. And if my arm gets twisted in the right direction towards the end of the show, I might even break out the tarot cards. Who knows? I'd also like to remind everybody our website is conscious-tv.com. You can go and listen to all the archives of all our past shows there and check out what's going on. I've got that Dr. Emoto's rice experiment going on, and you can watch the progress of that. I'm on day 25 now. This is being recorded on solstice, which is December 21st. So I've got another 6 days before, or 9 days before the end of the year, and we'll see if we got any more dramatic results in that. It's actually, if you check it out, you'll see that there is definitely some definite results. So, also, I'd like to remind everybody that Ramon and I are both blue-collar guys that work for a living, and we're doing this show out of our own pocket. And if you guys have a buck or two to drop our way, we have donate buttons on both the website and on the BBS website, so we would appreciate any assistance that anyone can give. So, Ramon, who have we got tonight?
We have Renato Longato. Was born in Lima, Peru in 1961. He studied sociology, law, and political science at the Inka, I'm going to mispronounce this, Garcilazo de la Vega University, and is an author, researcher, and lecturer. Renato's life changed after 3 consecutive UFO sightings in 1979. His experience and ET contact increased within the years. Renato, how are you today?
Very well. I'm glad to be with you both guys, Tom and Ramon, and ready to talk about this unexplained phenomena for most of the people that have a very explanation, and the long term, and in the present time, which is the ET presence. Beyond the UFO subject, there is an ET presence. They are here. They've been visiting the planet Earth for centuries. They've been recorded from different civilizations and cultures along the time. And right now, it's still the same. We've been visited again, but right now with technology, with the internet, they are showing their presence to all kind of people from any kind of walk of life, race, status, religion around the world. And what is happening right now, the ET presence is shaping the global consciousness of the human being, trying to educate them in a neutral way for the future contact they will have with our civilization.
Okay. So going with your personal experience back in 1979, what was it that shaped you personally with this? Was it a physical contact, or you just saw the ship?
1979, I was 16 to 17 years old, and I have these 3 consecutive UFO sightings when we were living outside of Lima City. What happened is that we have the loss of a loved one, a relative in my family, and we decided to move outside the city, and we were living in a chalet surrounded by farms and just even archaeological ruins nearby on the east side of Lima, in a place named Santa Felicia. And in that time, I was just a regular kid, loved to play soccer, go to spend weekends with my friends, go to a party, go to the movies, just whatever other teenager does in that age. And after my first UFO sighting, which involved 2 UFOs very close, like 2 blocks away from my house, and there was power interruption on the TV. I was watching a sport program, and then in all the electrical power energy, the street poles the electricity were gone for a couple of minutes while the UFOs were hovering nearby my house. Made me wonder that we were not alone in the universe. Made me wonder the spectacular sighting that I have, that made me feel that there was something else. After 15 days, that was in March 1979, first week of after 2 weeks later, first week of April, me and my oldest brother Gino, while driving his truck on the way to our house, the engine stopped suddenly on the highway, and then we were able to see in the distance another UFO almost at the level of the freeway, and we were able to just get paralyzed watching this light hovering in front of us in a certain distance, and this UFO, whatever it was, sent us a beam of light into the cabin of the truck. It stopped completely engine, and then it just moved away. As seconds later, the engine started by itself, and we just drove like, I would say 100 miles per hour to our house, all excited after having that spectacular experience. 2 weeks later, the end of April, first week of May, while I was just reading a magazine upstairs on the second floor of our chalet, our home, around 6 o'clock, it was a Sunday afternoon, we have a power failure, and my younger brother Bruno, which right now is living in Argentina, called us from the garden, from the backyard. And that time my mother was alive. She was on the first floor. I came down and joined my mom. We went to the backyard, and my younger brother, was pointing to the sky. So above our house was a UFO in a lenticular shape, very brilliant, like steel, like aluminum, and it was just hovering in a pentagonal, hexagonal movement. And in that moment, I felt a smooth vibration on the top of my head and a feeling of friendship. The excitement led to a feeling of friendship, a feeling of trust, a good positive feeling that somehow I knew them for some reason. Within time, I was just trying to get all kind of literature, books related to the UFO phenomena, which it was scarce in 1979 in Peru. There were not too many books related to the UFO. There were some spectacular stories. There were some local stories, but they were brief. We didn't have access in that time to English information in English to find out more about the UFO phenomena. So one of those nights I was always looking at the sky around 11 o'clock, 12 at night until my eyes were tired and I was ready to go to bed. One of those nights I went to bed and had this very lucid, vivid dream of a lady, beautiful kind of Nordic, Eastern European, Russian, Ukrainian, Swedish, Norwegian kind of a female getting into my bedroom, and everything started to glow and illuminate. And I woke up in my dream, and she approached to me, to make the story short, and she said, "What you need to use is your mind, Renato." And she repeated that 3 times, and I repeat that sentence after her. And then she raised her in a gentle way, her right arm, and touched herself between her eyes while saying, "What you need to use, Renato, is your mind." Then she went away, and the door closed by itself, my bedroom's door. In the morning, I just opened my eyes. It was 6:30 in the morning, and I decided to find any kind of organization, institution, or spiritual movement that have to do with the mind, meditation, stuff like that. So I ended up registering to have these intensive courses offered by Silva Mind Control by Jose Silva. I was in June 1979, Ramon.
Wow. I got kind of goosebumps when you were describing the lady, because I had something similar, and the lady kind of sounds the same. It was in 2009. I went up to Vermont. It was the beginning of the year. I went up to Vermont for a conference up there, and I had a dream where this lady was in the room, and she just had this very unique, she looked Asiatic, white, Native American, and she just was mixed with, they took the best parts of every race and just mixed it in this lady. And what she said to me was, all Earth humans have this kind of marking on their foreheads that starts with something like N and another letter and a number, and that's how other aliens are able to see them. And I found it really weird that she was saying that we all had this marking on our head.
Number of the beast.
I don't know if it was so
No,
much the number. It didn't feel that way.
That's right out of that's right out of the Bible, that the number of the beast will be on the hand or the forehead, right?
Yeah, but it was something that we can't see it, but I guess in a different light spectrum, they can see it the way she was explaining it. But it was a very lucid, vivid dream as well.
Yeah.
Well, those are the ways they communicate with us. We don't have to have a physical contact sometimes. Not all the dreams are visions or messages, and not all the messages and visions are dreams.
Right.
So, and later on, I became involved with the Rama group. Rama group is a contactee group that started in 1974. I didn't know anything related to Rama group before, and months later, I became involved with that group and have other experiences. As a matter of fact, in 1985, I had an encounter on the Andes outside of Lima with an extraterrestrial being, and a distance of, I would say, 60 feet from me, in a national park close to a river surrounded by the Andes. And it was really special because I received information or these thoughts, strong thoughts that came to my mind, that I have to go outside of Lima, and even saw that place before even I went there physically. So when I arrived there, according to the coordinates that they gave me, I found the place familiar, and once there, I was by myself, and everything started to change. What I mean with everything started to change, the wind stopped blowing, the birds stopped singing and chirping, and the sound of the river and the waves against the rocks, everything becomes silent, like it was inside of a bubble. And then in front of me, it appeared a 6'5", 6'3", looked like human being wearing a metallic suit, complete from neck to toe. The shoulders, broad shoulders. I would say the arms a little bit longer than ours, almost close to the knee. Now I'm very relaxed telling this. I've told this several times. With people who wants to know my experience. But in that time, I was very excited. I was with fear, completely fear. I was curious at the same time. I think that all those mix of emotions paralyzed me. That's what I have this encounter. If not, I would have run away. But anyway, he raised his hand. He said that his name was Anael, Anael. And he said that they've been watching me. I mean, they in plural, not only him. That I've been under surveillance or observation since 1979, when I have this first UFO sightings. And that time was 1985, like 6 years later. And he called me through another name. Instead of saying Renato, he said Amurac, Amurac. And he said that's my real name. That involves the vibration turning into letters. And it's also my personal mantra. And they say that I should continue doing what I was doing. I should continue working to have a shift of consciousness, that in the future, my activity will involve many people within time, that I cannot lose the opportunity to continue with the contact with them if that is my will, that they will be in contact with me. To make the story short, this extraterrestrial being, this almost, I would say, that disappear, that I would say that was perhaps a holographic projection. For me, looks so real, looks so human-like, even though I can tell that he smiled, and when he smiled, he have no teeth like us. He have some sort of a mouth protector that the boxers